I loved Burns's literature from the time I began studying it in school. And it was when I came to the University of Glasgow to do a degree in Scottish literature that I discovered there was so much more to Burns than those works that we had studied.
I was amazed by Burns when I first came across him because he opened a door onto history for me and onto Scottish history, which I knew nothing about as a teenager. And I was kind of deeply inspired by the man, the figure, the life that I came across as part of these poems.
It's quite remarkable across cultures, across creeds, etc. People find a lot to identify with in Robert Burns. Part of that, of course, is the poetry and his writing about the great human emotions of love and indeed hate.
Throughout the 19th, 20th and even into the 21st century, different audiences have been able to find different messages in Burns. They've been able to construct different versions of Burns perhaps, some which are more notorious than others. But here you have a poet from 18th century Ayrshire who writes in Scots yet that speaks to audiences across space and time.
When lyart leaves bestrow the yard.
People say, what else is there that's left to discover? Actually, as time goes by, more and more turns up, especially in the age of the internet.
Human beings are motivated far more, as we can see on social media every day, by emotions than they would often like to think they are. And Burns is the primary poet of emotion and feeling.
His emphasis on human emotions, on human feelings, on the way we react to situations, on fear of the future, all of these themes will mean something to readers 100 years from now, I think.
I think it's really difficult for Burns not to be part of my non-working life, actually. I suppose anybody that works in research knows that you don't switch it off with the working day.
I was born and brought up in Ayrshire, right in the centre of Burns country, and I live there now, and so Burns is everywhere.
No matter where I go, I will discover someone who has a connection to Burns. So yes, I think it's a state of mind.
We have a core team of around 10 people, and we all work in individual areas, but we do come together as a team on certain big projects.
There's perhaps a perception of arts and humanities scholars as beavering away in their own, writing their books or doing their research, but the reality today is very different, and I think the Centre for Robert Burns Studies is really at the forefront of how we work with other disciplines, other fields.
We've worked with a whole raft of younger scholars, one of whom was in her final honours year when I started working here at Glasgow, is now the director.
That team has been hugely influential and supportive to me all the way through my career, and yeah, it's very special.